Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Accidental Beauty. If you're new, welcome. My name's Laura. I'm a self-taught makeup enthusiast and I post content usually about once a week, mainly about makeup and sometimes about other beauty-related topics. Today I am going to be doing a first impressions review and swatch video on my eyes as well as on my arm using some single shadows that I got from the brand Coloured Raine. They are a Black-owned brand. They've been around for quite a while, I think. And I am really excited to share my experience using them because I've never tried anything from this brand before. So if you guys want to see my unfiltered first impressions, reviews, swatches, all of that good stuff, then please keep on watching. So these shadows are actually a little bit bigger than the typical like MAC or ColourPop shadow. They've got 1.8 grams or 0.064 ounces. In comparison, something like ColourPop has 1.5 grams or 0.05 ounces. So you get a little bit more product for about the same price, which is pretty cool. I'll just briefly talk about shipping. All right, so I ordered the shadows on June 14th. And then they arrived on July 13th. It took them about a month to get from San Diego, California to Toronto, Canada. Granted, this is because I think they had a bit of a delay either in their shipping or manufacturing because of coronavirus. So I imagine shipping would be a bit quicker during normal times, but just something to keep in mind. Just one more thing that I forgot to mention. If you guys, you can't really tell, but I've got my single shadows in this really pretty marble magnetic palette. And if I hold it this way, you can see the pattern. So if you're interested, I got this from Shop Miss A. I'll leave links in the description box for all the products that I am wearing and that I mentioned in this video, so you can find the link directly down there. I'm really making an effort to buy from indie brands, especially brands owned by Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, aka BIPOC or BIPOC. I mean, Coloured Raine is starting to become a bigger brand. They've been around for a while, but I've wanted to support them for a long time. It's just really hard to get behind paying for shipping, but again, these companies are typically small. They have a much smaller staff and generally don't make as much money as, like, obviously, let's say Anastasia, where they could absorb the shipping costs just because they earn, so much. So for that reason, I'm kind of getting over my hesitancy to pay for shipping because they are small businesses and they do have a lot of costs. Not like I'm happier to pay for shipping, but just something that I'm sort of keeping in mind and just kind of getting over, if you will. So I just think it's really important to support smaller businesses, especially businesses owned by more marginalized groups. It's something that I'm trying to commit to on my channel. And it's also just exciting to discover new brands or just play with makeup from brands that I hadn't heard of before, that I hadn't tried before. It's really exciting to me. And often I'm finding that a lot of smaller brands, especially a lot of indie brands, the quality of their makeup is sometimes even better than these sort of like big name mainstream brands. One last thing that I forgot to mention. So the eyeshadows came in these adorable cardboard sleeves. So like, look at that. It's just so cute. I think it's just got a general ingredient list on the back, because all of these sort of packaging sleeves were the same, but I just wanted to show you how cute they are. Just the attention to detail that a lot of these indie brands have. Like, why can't mainstream brands step it up to be on this level? It's just one design that they use, but it's so pretty. Like, there was clearly thought put into this, whereas I feel like a lot of other brands, they just stamp their logo on something and then it's like, have a nice day. Maybe they'll design, like, if it's like a bigger palette or something, but this is just pretty to look at. Like, it's exciting, it's inviting. It gets you excited because of how much color there is. Like, I'm excited to play with eyeshadows. Even if before I even saw them, I got really excited by the packaging because I was just so inspired. So I hope other brands sort of take cues from here. Yeah, so I was just really impressed by that. I think that was everything I was going to say, so let's just get into swatching. These are the 3 eyeshadows that I'm going to be swatching today. Very neutral, very uncharacteristic for me, but I'm really excited to try these out. I've never used any Coloured Raine eyeshadows before, but I've heard very good things about their formula and just about the brand in general, so I'm really excited to try these out. The shades that I'm going to be swatching are Angel Face, Your Majesty, and Chocolate. Alright, so we're already zoomed in, so I might as well just continue from here. I mentioned this in my ColourPop video, but I'm going to be priming one eye and leaving the other one unprimed just so you can see the difference between eyes. And I'm going to be using the highlighting side of the NYX Wonder Stick.
Time it is.
I'm going to start on the other eye. I'm just going to use this flat brush from e.l.f. I find it's really good to pack on shadow. And let's just jump in. Let's see if I can, okay, zoom in as much as I can. Let's start with Angel Face. Okay, I coated the brush really nicely. Okay, so this one you won't be able to see too much because it's similar to my skin tone. Okay, you can kind of see it.
Fine. Hoover, Axel, and you know how we do.
So it's a really nice peachy color, and it definitely shows up much better on the primed side. This side, I feel like you can actually see the color, whereas on the unprimed side, it's very, very neutral. Like you can definitely see it on my skin tone, but pretty much any skin tone that's deeper than me, you'd have a hard time seeing it without priming it first. It's pretty much like a transition shade. It's not really, it's either a transition shade or something that you'd wear like if you're into more neutral, natural looking makeup, which is very much not my style, but it's pretty. All right, so this is Angel Face. So I want to test the mattes out together, and then I'm going to do the metallic looking one. So let's move on to Chocolate.
And you know how we do.
So this one looks, it's almost got like a purple hint to it. So I'm curious to see if that shows up on the eyes. Okay, this one I kind of smoked out a bit too much. Actually, it's darker and cooler toned than I think I expected this color to be. And let's try on the primed side. Oh wow, look at that rich pigmentation. Okay, just because I blended it up really high, I think I'm going to try smoking it out and see how that looks. Okay, I think I had a little extra color on this side, so it looks a little warmer, but it seems to blend out pretty nicely. Yeah, it looks really nice. This is normally not the type of shade I would typically go for because it is very cool toned, but it's kind of grungy and I kind of like it. So this is Chocolate. So I feel like that one stained my unprimed eye just a little bit. It's not too bad on camera, but in person it looks a little bit stained. So I'm gonna go into the last shade, Your Majesty. I'm gonna try just using a dry brush. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna have to wet this, and if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna use my fingers. So let's take a look and see how this goes. Hey, I didn't pick up too much. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to wet this. Oh, actually, not too bad considering, but I'm just gonna wet my brush with Fix Plus. Oh, that's stunning. That's really stunning. Okay, I'm gonna actually just dip in with my finger because I want it to be super intense. Look at that pigment. Oh my god, that is a stunning color. It's like liquid copper. That is stunning. Oh my god, that is so beautifully pigmented. So I feel like with most metallic shades like this one, it doesn't super make a difference whether you prime or not. The only difference really is just the number of layers that I put on. Like it's definitely more opaque on the prime side from the start, but you can definitely build it up to this intensity. Oh my god, Like, I can barely see a difference between the sides. So this is Your Majesty. Let's swatch these shadows on my arm. I'm not gonna prime my arm or anything. I'm just gonna kind of build up the color as best as I can. Let's just zoom in a little bit and I'll turn down the lights. So that is Angel Face. That is so pretty. That is one swipe. So this is Your Majesty. And that is Chocolate. I'm sorry for how messy these swatches are, but it's just kind of to give you an idea of the pigmentation. Chocolate almost looks purpley, like it's a very cool tone brown. All right, so I'm gonna finish off the rest of my face and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. All right, so I'm back. I finished off the rest of my face. Got details in the description box for all the products that I'm wearing and all the ones that I mentioned in case you're interested. I didn't use any of the eyeshadows that I swatched on my eyes just because I'm filming a couple videos today and it's just easier if I use something completely unrelated because I am filming a lot. So I'd rather just do a separate video where I do maybe a look using these eyeshadows or something. Comment below if you want to see something like that. So let's talk about these eyeshadows individually. So I'm going to start with Angel Face. So it's decently pigmented. I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more pigment, but it is such a light color that it would be kind of hard to make it like ridiculously pigmented. Like obviously compared to these other two, which are darker, they're going to show up a lot better, especially on a range of different skin tones. That said, it is a transition color. It's a really nice, almost like a peachy apricot kind of color. It's swatched pretty decently, especially on top of an eyeshadow base. It performed really well. I don't really have any complaints other than the fact that I would have liked to have seen maybe a hint more pigment. So for that reason, I think I'd give it a 4.75 out of 5 because otherwise I have no complaints about it. So moving on, we're going to talk about Your Majesty. Even though I swatched them out of order, whatever, I'm going to go in order of how I place them in my magnetic palette. So Your Majesty, the name is so appropriate. It's such a beautiful rich gold. It swatches so beautifully. It looks absolutely stunning on the eyes, especially on green eyes. I feel like it's very, very flattering. It's beautiful. I give it an 11 out of 5 because it's just perfection. I love the shadow so, so much. And I really can't wait to play around with that one some more. The last one, Chocolate, is an interesting color. Like it's a cool tone brown, but it's like it's so cool tone that it's almost purple. It swatches pretty decently, although it does look a bit different on the primed eye versus the unprimed eye, but really not the biggest deal. It's a really beautiful color. I feel like it's perfect to deepen up any look, especially if you're doing kind of like a more neutral brown and gold kind of look, like sort of like what I have on today. I feel like it would be really good for like deepening up the crease if you use a very soft hand or the outer V. I think it would be stunning. It's a really cool color. I can't wait to experiment with this one a bit more because I feel like it would look really interesting with some cool tone purples and grays. So I'd like to play around with that one some more and do some more experimental looks. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, and that one I think I'd give it a solid 5 out of 5 because it seemed to blend out really nicely. That's the thing. I purposely didn't want to blend all of these because that wasn't really the point of this video, but since I kind of dragged it out a bit far, I was able to blend it out a little bit. So overall, I'm really happy with these shadows. I definitely would consider purchasing from Coloured Raine again because I'm really, really impressed with the quality. Shipping was decent, so yeah, no complaints overall. Definitely recommend this brand. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of these colors, what you think of the brand, if you've tried anything from the brand before, if you have any products to recommend, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoy makeup videos, because that's predominantly what I do on my channel, I'm sure you'll enjoy my other content that I post on my other social media. I post a lot of looks from videos that I do on this channel. So if you like what I do here, I'm sure you'll love what I do over there. So I'd love if you could give me a follow. I'll leave links in the description for all of my social media accounts. And if you enjoy the type of content that I do here and want to see more, I'd love if you could subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. That way you'll get updated whenever I upload a new video, and it would really help me out a lot as well. So I'd love if you could do that, and I'll see you guys next time.